let's talk about grit.
What's that sound? The sound of someone who won't back down. Back down, now we never back down.
I started this Facebook page a couple of months ago, and it's Karina Living Healthy. And all I really wanted to do was document my journey to trying to live a healthier life. That's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I really just wanted to include you guys along the journey. Hopefully you can learn from me. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes as much as maybe some victories. But in the past couple of months in starting this healthy living page, I really just could not get away from this concept of grit. So last summer, and this was before I even started the Facebook page, before I even really made healthy living a true goal of mine, I just started hearing about Grit Factor from Lisa Bevere. I was listening to some of her messages and she kept talking about it. She actually kept talking about the Grit Factor, but also about Terminator and how Sarah O'Connor has this like grit factor. And she made me, I like totally went out and watched the movie. I think I like bought it from the Amazon movie. I was like, I cannot wait. I'm just gonna buy it from Amazon, watch it, because I gotta watch Terminator. I gotta figure out about this grit thing. And it was fun. I loved watching that movie again. Such a funny movie. Good movie. But let's be real, it's the 80s. But it was so fun. I watched it and I was like, okay, grit factor. I feel like I'm understanding it more. But then I kept hearing about it. And I think actually at Jack's church, Jonathan Perkins, as he was talking about the growth mindset, he also mentioned this whole grit, this grit thing. And then I heard it again. So after signing up with Arbonne, the GTC conference that they give their consultants to train them and give them education, Miranda Burcham, she was like amazing. She totally talked my language, loved everything Miranda was saying. And she mentioned grit. And I thought, man, these successful people, these people who are doing what they love and seem healthy in a lifestyle. And if we're talking about healthy as, being well, but not just being well and not just being like without disease or pain or anything that can hinder your growth. If we're also talking about healthy as in prosperous. So Merriam-Webster defines it as all three of those things. It's not just being well, whatever that means. I'm still figuring it out. It's not just about being without disease or pain or disorder or anything like that. And it's not just those two things, it's also being prosperous. And so I thought about that, and last summer I also did the Unlock Your Gifts. Travis Albritton offers a series called Unlock Your Gifts, and I went through those classes and those modules, and I thought, okay, I want to live a healthy lifestyle, somewhere where I can prosperous and be successful. And I'm still figuring it out. I'm going to be real with you. I am still figuring it out. So for the summer, these next couple of weeks, I'm going to be researching grit. Let's talk about grit. What is it? What is this whole grit thing? Which, by the way, we are not talking about grits, like cheesy grits or like shrimp and grits. That's not what we're talking about here. Although, thank you. Thank you, Southern culture, for giving us grits. I love it. But we're not talking about grits. We're talking about grit, G-R-I-T. And Angela Duckworth, I bought the book. She defines it as the power of passion and perseverance. Take the two concepts and you bring them together and you've got grit. Some of the grittiest people in the world, they're successful. They're doing what they love and they're doing it well. And I think, I want grit. I want more of that. I want to be prosperous and successful. I want to live this healthy, meaningful life that, again, I get to go farther and farther. And apparently, with people who have grit, you get to do that. You get to be successful and take all of your goals and your dreams to the next level. So that's what I'm going to be researching this summer. And I took the test, and there's like a grit scale test, and I got a 3.5 out of 5. So it's not awful, but it's definitely not where I need to be at all. I could definitely up my grit scale score from a 3.5 to I'd like a 4. 4 would be nice, aiming for that 4. May not happen in the summer, but that's okay. I definitely want to educate, empower, just inspire myself to learn more about grit. That being said, I want to invite you guys along for the journey with me as I research grit this summer. Click the link below. I'm going to put the link for the test a part of this video. Click it, take the quiz, and if you're brave enough, I want to hear what your guys' grit scales are. That would be super fun. And feel free to just comment about your first thoughts about grit as I'm diving into this summer researching grit.
Martin, hope, fool. we getting up, we getting loud. Moving for that top spot, for that crown. How you living? What's that sound? The sound of someone who won't back down. Back down, now we never back down. Back down, now we never back down. Back down, now we never back down. Back down. So who this ain't concerned? Don't count me out. Kind regards, Mr. Second Wind, who lasted the drought.
Yep.